Alright, third graders, let's keep working on our words for the story Boomtown. So we're talking about closed syllables. So we've got a single vowel followed by one or more consonants. The vowel is short. We have two vowels. We're going to have two syllables, because the definition of a syllable is that it has to have one vowel sound. We have two vowels. We look between, and we'll break it in between those two consonants. When we had the word monster, we had three consonants in between our vowel sounds. I look it up on the dictionary because that's going to give me the best way of figuring out how to break it. I can also use a couple of dictionary apps. That's going to be faster than looking it up in the book. But any source of a dictionary is going to help you figure that out. Let's do the next word, napkin. I'm in Louisiana. A lot of times we don't say the P in napkin. But that is how it's spelled. That's how it should be pronounced. So let's sound it out. A, P, K, I, And yes, I changed the color pen because my marker was starting to go out. My tongue is up. My lips are open. The N. Please make sure you're holding your pencil correctly. A, magic C, up and touch, down and bump. P is the P. We start in the middle of the box. We go under the writing line. We come up and we make the bubble sit on top of the writing line. Teachers, please make sure that your students are not having floating P's. Floating P's are where the bubble is not touching the writing line. That looks like a capital P. We do not have capital P's in the middle of our word. Please make sure your bubble is sitting on the writing line. So we have a, p, k, k is a K. It is an I. Like the bottle's going to go it in the hoop. It. Tongue is up. Mouth is open. It's the N. I find my vowel sounds. I look between them, and that's where my syllable break is. Nap, closed syllable. The vowel is short. Kin, single vowel followed by one or more consonants. It's closed. The vowel is short. It. Napkin. Now, the rest of the words are going to use a different phonics pattern because we're having to protect the vowel in front of it. Let me give you an example of a word. The word we're going to use is happen. A, P, E, The first sound is A, P, E is the E, push out, up, down, and around. E is short. I underline my vowel sounds. I look between the vowels. I've got one consonant, the way that I wrote it. So when you have one consonant in between two vowel sounds, it can either be part of the first syllable, or it could be part of the second syllable. When we say happen, you want to clap it, ha-pen. The p sound goes with the second syllable. That means it's pen. That means that's the first syllable. Well, if you remember what an open syllable is a single vowel at the end of a syllable. And the vowel is going to be long. Remember, because the vowel can go a long way. That's a problem. The word's not hay-pen, it's happen. So it has to be the a sound. So we have to have a closed syllable. So what happens is you double the consonant in the middle of the word to protect the short vowel in front of it. What we do is we do the syllable break in between these two. so that it looks like a closed syllable and a closed syllable. The p sound is said with the second syllable. This one is a silent P, and it's to protect the vowel. It's making this a closed syllable. Does that make sense? The rest of your words, we're going to use this phonics rule of doubling the middle consonant to protect the short vowel in front of it. And what it's doing is it's changing an open syllable to a closed syllable so the vowel is protected and it continues to stay the short sound. Let's do the next word, lettuce. I like to eat lettuce. It's a short E sound. We have a silent E and a C. And that goes with this rule. A C followed by an E, I, or Y will say the sound. So C followed by an E, I, or Y says, we're going to circle that so that we remember that phonics rule. The silent E is not making this say U. It is still saying So the only thing that the silent E is doing is making this C say the sound. I underline my vowels and I look at them. I've got one consonant in between. When I say it, let-us, the t sound goes with the second syllable. That means that this is an open syllable, which would mean that it would be a long E sound. That's not right. It's let-us. We double the middle consonant to protect the vowel in front. Now that's a closed syllable, the vowel is short. The T sound is said with the second syllable. Lettuce. The next word is supper. Bubble on the writing line. ER is our controlled vowel. It's a vowel sound. Well, it's considered a vowel sound. Two vowel sounds, look between, one consonant. This is super because the oo is the long U sound. That's an open syllable. We need to be the short sound. We double the middle consonant to protect the short vowel. Supper. I'm putting dots or for the syllable break line interchangeably. Your teacher will let you know how they want you to break it. It's just that there's not a whole lot of room for a dot in between those two P's. The next one we'll do is lesson. I am learning a big spelling lesson. O-S-A-N. The short E sound. Is actually spelled with the O in this word. The O usually says O or ah. In this word it says You can put the forward slashes or virgules and put the U. The U says because it's the short sound. Now why is that O saying the sound? And teachers, you can Google this. It's not going to be in many phonics books. It's called the scribal O. Here's a summary of it. So when the scribes, the people who would handwrite the books way back when the scribes were writing, and the way that they wrote were very tall letters that looked very similar. So if you had a U next to an M or an N or a V, those kind of all looked similar, and so they were hard to distinguish. So what the scribes did is they put a top on top of the U. So now it became a O. But it still says the sound. It still represents the short U sound, But because of the letters that are next to it, when the scribes were making this, handwriting the books, they changed the U to an O when they're next to an M, an N, a V, and there's some other letters I don't remember right offhand. But we have an sound next to an N. The scribal O is there. Alright, let's get back to our two vowel sounds. There's one consonant, lesson. This goes with the sound. But that would leave an open syllable, which would be a long vowel. So we double the middle consonant to protect the vowel, short vowel in front of it. Lesson. The next word is collar. The dog wore a collar. K-A-L-L-E-R. Let me bring this up. When we have a C followed by an E-I-R-Y, it says the sound. The second sound in collar is ah, which is a short O sound. O is not one of the letters that's going to change the C to an S sound. So, the C is going to say the K sound when it's followed by a O, a U, an A. So, K, A, O, R. R can also be spelled with an A-R. R can be spelled with A-R, E-R, I-R, and U-R. I know that's confusing. I'm sure we'll get to a list where we have all the different versions of the R spelling, and we'll go into more detail later. Collar. That's an R-controlled vowel, and there's our vowel. Lur is the second syllable, but we got to protect our short vowel. We double the consonant in the middle, so we have a closed syllable and an R-controlled vowel. The next word is traffic. A, I, K, T, A, It, K, and the C. Traffic. There is a K phonics rule, but it does not apply to this one. Let me pull the card for that. Let me show you. The K is represented with the CK at the end of a word or syllable just after an accented single short vowel. That is a single short vowel, but this is a multi-syllable word. So it's really not going to follow that rule because we've got two vowel sounds. Traffic. Plus it could have something to do with the word origin too. So, traffic. Thick is the second syllable, but we have an open syllable. It would be long version, protect the short vowel, we double the middle consonant. Also look, we only had one F. We need to double the F to make that a closed syllable, and then the F goes with the second syllable. Traffic. The next word is suggest. This one's going to be a little different, and because we have to listen to the sounds. Suggest. G, J, S, T, G, J. I'm going to leave that one for now. That's the J sound. S, T. Suggest. Now, G followed by an E-R-Y says J. The J sound. Suggest. The syllable break is right here. We are actually doubling the G in the middle. Because look, here's our two vowel sounds. If we had the two G's in the same box, one of them is silent. But when we look up the word, when we use our dictionary app, when we say it, suggest. The only way to have the G and the J sounds is to have them in two separate boxes. Those two G's are making separate sounds. This one is saying the G, this one's saying the J. This one's saying J because it's followed by an E. This is still a closed syllable. This is a closed syllable. The vowels are short, but because this G is followed by an E, it's going to change to the J. We don't have to worry about that happening to any of the other words that we did because the E-I-R-Y is only going to change the C or the G to the alternate sound. Okay? So don't think I threw something in that changes all the other words. It's not. It's only when the C or the G is followed by E-R-Y is it going to change that sound. Okay? That's why it's important to learn these phonics rules because they really don't change. Once you learn them, you can pick them out in any word and go, oh, I know why that says that. We got two more words. The next word is puppet. Please make sure your bubble sits on the writing line. Is the E, short E sound. I find my vowels, I look between, I've only got one consonant. I say it, pet. The P goes with the et part, but that makes that an open syllable, which changes the vowel sound. I have to protect the short vowel. I double the middle consonant. This first P is silent. It still looks like a closed syllable. It protects the short vowel. And the last word, spelling. Spelling. Like ring, king. It's the My tongue is in the back like I'm going to say the G, but I don't say spelling G. I say spelling. That's not a southern pronunciation, that is a phonics pronunciation. It's the first sound. My tongue is up in the back, the sound is coming through my nose. That's the NG in one box because it's representing the sound. I look for my vowels, I look between, protect that short vowel, I double the middle consonant. Another way of looking at the word spelling is if we are talking about not the subject of spelling, but the action of spelling. We would talk about the Floss Rule. The Floss Rule is when you double the F, L, or S at the end of a one-syllable word when it follows a single short vowel. The word spell is a single syllable word. ing is a morphological ending. It's an ending that you add to the word to change the tense of the word. Spell. Rule is at the end of a single syllable word following a single short vowel. You double the L. It's called floss because you double the F or the L or the S. Floss rule. So if you want to remember it with the floss rule and then you add the ing ending, you can do that. Or if you want to spell it out, find your two vowels, look between, you have one L. Ling is how you say the second syllable. Protect that short vowel. Got to make it a closed syllable. Double that middle consonant. Okay, y'all learned a lot with this list. But that's the fun of learning phonics rules, is because once I learn it, then I can use it for other words. So as you're reading your story, you can go, I don't know how to figure out that word. Go, oh wait, I see a CE at the end of the word. Maybe the C followed by E-R-Y says, oh, now I can say the word. Or you learn more about the scribal O, and so you find more words that have the sound, but they're spelled with an O, and you find out about that. You see more words that have the middle consonant doubled, and you go, oh, I know why that happens. It's to protect that first short vowel, and it's because I've got to change the syllable type from an open syllable type to a closed syllable type so that I know what the vowel sound is. Alright guys, have a great week, and I hope you do super great, awesome on your test. See you next week.